Okay, cool. We are live. Welcome to today's training for Google Analytics 4. We're just going to wait a few minutes for people to join us. We know we've sent out an email with the link. So we're just going to give people some time. We have a few minutes to go before cutoff. So we're just going to give them some time and we're going to just test our systems and everything's working before we start our training. So if you're just joining us, feel free to type in the chat. Type in where you're from, your organization name, and what you're hoping to learn today. We'll be launching a lot more training on not only Google GA4 products, but also just across marketing in general. We'll be launching training every month. So like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd love to have you. So if you registered, you'd also get a link in your email to the workbook, and that workbook is just a basic setup guide for GA4. Really is the step by step. It took us ages to figure it out, and we worked it all through and made a succinct summary for you to follow step by step. So that'll be a really practical guide for you to download and make use of. And comment in the chat. So we've got 13 people now with us. We have a few more people, 16 people coming with. So everyone's joining. I'd love for you to just write in the chat where you are from and what you're hoping to learn. So let's see who's with us today. Type in your organization names and what you're hoping to learn in today's training. We're just going to give it a few more minutes to let people get on. Typically, marketers have busy roles, they're running around, they've just gotten that notification email. So we're going to give them a few moments to get on. Great. Hi, Caroline, Brisbane, Caboolture, Montessori. Hey, Caroline, welcome to the video stream. Okay, so today's training is Google Analytics 4, GA4. You may have gotten a few emails from Google, just updating, letting you know that GA4 is launching and you've probably been ignoring them. So this is your reminder to actually pay attention and to get set up with GA4. So what is Google Analytics? I'm going to get started. We've got 20 people with us. We've got a few more at the Lakes College. We've got Aspire Learning Resources. Welcome. Welcome, Madison from Nazareth in Adelaide. We've got Tara Anglican School. Hey, Angela. And Emmaus Christian College. Hey, Amy. Hey, Amy and Sonia. Welcome. We've got Caroline, Morrissey, a few new gems about Google Analytics. Well, you're at the right place. And to see what's new, there's a lot that's new. Yeah. There's a lot that's happening in the digital space, and this is one of them. So we'll help you take a deep dive today. And we've got Michelle Cronin from Foundation Christian College. I'm loving that I'm seeing all these names that I recognize in the chat. So that's great. And one day we will meet in person. Okay, so what is Google Analytics? Just, broadly speaking, Google Analytics is a tool that we use for all of our website analytics. And it helps us to understand the users on our website and how people are using our website. And so most of us would be used to the Universal Analytics, which has been the go-to tool for the last few years. But in 2020, they launched GA4. And so some of you may be thinking this is just another update, but it's not. It's a complete overhaul of your Google Analytics platform to really cater for the future of web analytics. And it's really based around understanding the user. So that's what GA4 is. So for today, we've got Jolene. She's our account manager at Roberts Digital, and she really led the wave when it came to introducing GA4 to the agency, updating the team with all the training, and also putting together the SOPs, our operating procedures for how we implement Google Analytics 4 into our client accounts. And so that has been a big chunk of our work over the last year.
Yep.
And I'd say Jolene's learned a lot from that process, and so have we. I think we
Yep.
have a few more grey hairs
Yeah,
from that process.
definitely.
So we're really lucky to have Jolene to really condense all of that learning into, well, just ignore all the other trainings and websites, and really here is your bullet point list of how to implement GA4 for your organization. So Jolene, let's get started.
Great.
What are the main features, the main new features that we can expect to see on GA4?
Yeah, definitely. So there really are a host of new features, but I think just to summarize, I'll just give a snapshot of a few that we have definitely seen. So firstly, I would say GA4 is really designed to better track users across multiple platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody visits your site on a mobile device and then later on a desktop, a GA4 now can really track that multi-device usage better.
Mm-hmm.
The same goes for cross-platform tracking, because you may have people visiting from a search engine or a social platform. So we can now really better understand how people are visiting sites. Secondly, I would say is definitely there's more of a meaningful tracking system that is in place.
Okay.
And this is the event-based model. So businesses can track valuable actions of users, and this includes actions such as page views, clicks, form submissions, and these with GA4, this really is at the center of the data collection process. Thirdly is advanced machine learning techniques. So this is really key because it's going to help businesses identify trends and patterns in user behavior. And, you know, these might not be apparent immediately. So this can really assist businesses in making informed decisions about how to optimize websites or to optimize your marketing campaign. And then lastly, I would definitely say a big new feature is the improved reporting features
Okay.
and the insights that we've seen. So GA4 has really made it easier for businesses to understand and analyze their data. And they have a range of new reports and visualization options. So you really also have the ability to also create custom reports and dashboards. So really great new features all in all.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said before, I mean, people may just think they got the email, it's an update, you know, GA4 is updating, you think, great, that'll look after itself. But no, it's a real, there is action that you need to take, and it's actually a real overhaul of the software. So I just wanted to welcome from Juradong International School. Welcome, James. Welcome, Kate Anderson from Toowoomba Grammar School. All these names I recognize. Alison McNally, Our Lady of the Mercy College in Parramatta, and also Barker College. Hello, Barker College. I'm Julie from Barker College. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. I hope you get a lot of value from today's training. Okay, so yeah, as I said, so it's a complete overhaul of the of the Google Analytics platform.
Yeah.
Um, and you mentioned, so it really sounds like it's going to help us really understand our users, how they're using our websites across platforms, not just kind of on a single website. It's really cross-platform tracking
Yeah.
that is going to help us out with.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you dive a little bit into the event-based tracking that you mentioned?
Yeah.
So what is event-based tracking? And, you know, what is it and how does it work?
Yep, definitely. So, with event-based tracking, this is really a big step forward in web analytics. So, in GA4, tracking is now based on events. So, as you know, in Universal Analytics, we would use goals, and goals did have some limits on conversion criteria, which we're not seeing with events, which is really a great step forward.
Okay.
So when we talk about an event, this is essentially a action that a user takes, such as clicking a a button, submitting a form, viewing a page. So it's really become a much more flexible model.
Okay.
With event-based tracking, businesses can track these specific users or actions and behaviors, and you can really focus these on what is important for your business. What are your goals? What are your objectives? What do you want to track? So essentially what you would do is use GA4. So you would send an event to GA4 through a piece of code, and you can do this using Tag Manager. These tags are placed on your website or your app, and when they are triggered, a specific event occurs. So this really is a lot more streamlined than the previous version of Universal Analytics.
Okay, so it sounds like we really need to just take the time to set up these events so that GA4 works properly and gives us what we need from it. So it's really important to work through your website and look at your case scenario. And I'll just mention, if you haven't downloaded that guide, it's a GA4 setup guide, and it will take you. Does it take that? The guide takes you step by step how to set up GA4 and how to set this up.
So really a valuable resource if you want to get your hands on that.
Great. Okay, so just to recap, which events would you want us to be setting up? Things like what are we setting up?
So I think when you're looking at event tracking, there are a few that you can focus, that businesses can focus on, and a few that I would suggest first off are definitely things like button clicks. So button clicks are a common event that businesses want to track, and this can include tracking a click on a call to action. Perhaps you've got an add to cart. Maybe there's another button that you is a valuable action that you would deem necessary that you want to track on your website or app. Form submissions, these are very popular. So people definitely want to be tracking form submissions. And this can include tracking when somebody submits a contact form or a sign-up form. It really depends on what forms businesses have on their sites. And then, of course, is video interactions. It's great if you have got videos on your websites or apps. These can be useful to track user interactions with videos. And you might want to look at tracking when a user starts a video or stops, pauses, if they've completely watched a video. So, I think ultimately I would say with event tracking actions, you should really focus on setting up what is important for your business. Look at your goals, look at your objectives, and it's key to identify those actions that you want to track. I think with that, once you've got that set up, it can really help you optimize for better results down the line.
It will really help you with the setup. Okay, great. I'd just like to take 2 minutes and just, where are you at with your GA4 setup? Comment in the comment section. Have you set up GA4? Have you opened the email from Google saying introducing GA4? Is it on your radar, or are you completely set up and confident with the platform? We'd love to know where you are at. And so just comment that below. Okay, so events are basically the foundation of your whole account. So let's move on. So once we've got the event set up, let's move on to really understanding some of the data from our account. GA4 is supposed to be an enhanced tool for its users. So let's take a look. So what are some of your go-to tools and reports that are really going to help us to understand how people are finding and using our website?
Yeah, definitely. So I think reports, as here in the agency, we know that it's a great go-to tool. It's really how we analyze the data. But if you're just getting started with GA4, I think it can be quite intimidating. Looking through the platform, where do you start? So there are a few reports that I would suggest that can help you get started. First would be the real-time reports, and these are great because you can really see what is happening on your website or app in real time. Real time is also a great way to test some tracking setup if you want to see if events and actions are being tracked correctly. Another great one is the overview report, and this is great because it really provides just that high level summary of your website or your app's performance. This can look at metrics such as active users, sessions, engagement, and this would really give you a good sense of how your website or app is performing overall.
Right.
Acquisition reports. These are, this is probably one of my personal best, just because it really can provide insight into how users are finding your site. This also looks at which channels are driving the most traffic, which campaigns are the most effective.
We like that one.
So that's really a great one. And then lastly, I would say would be engagement reports. And engagement is really a new feature that GA4 has brought. And this will allow you to see how users are interacting on your website, interacting on your app, with buttons, forms, videos. So this can really help you identify areas where users may be struggling. So you can optimize your website for better performance if you're seeing that users are struggling through your website usage.
Yeah, there really are different dimensions that you can analyze your website from. So from a user's perspective, from your website performance, and from like acquiring traffic. Okay, so Caroline says she's not set up yet. She's been waiting for the webinar. She's waiting for the step-by-step guide. So just follow the steps, Caroline, and you should be good to go. Anglican schools for girls all set up. Great. Oh no, yet to set up. Sorry, yet to set up. You'll find it easy after today. Barker College not set up yet. Not set up yet for Michelle. Kate, we set up GA4 when we went live with our new website, but haven't set up event tracking tags. So that's I think because of like Google Analytics has like a history of just, set it and forget it, like it just works. I think people may bring that perspective over to GA4, but really it's there. You're using a tenth of the platform if you don't set it up correctly. And then, you can't go back in time and set up things to look at the history of performance. So it's really important to spend the day, take the time out and get ahead of the game. Okay. And then Kate has said Kate was set up, and then James set up GA4 last month and monitoring basic data compared to the old. I think that's great. It's a great place to be. That means that you're going to be in a strong position come July. Okay, so those reports that you mentioned, where can we find those reports?
So I've only mentioned earlier just a handful of the reports. So if you log into your GA4 account, you would literally find the report section on the left-hand side in the menu, and you can click on there and see the host of new reports that are available.
Great. Okay, so for those of us who just commented there that we're not set up yet, how do we get started with Google Analytics 4? What is our next steps?
Great. So the first step would be, check you've got access to Universal Analytics and log into your account. So what you want to do is log into your Universal Analytics account. Simply go to the admin section, which is on the bottom left-hand side. You'll see it like in the little setting cogs. You click on that button. From there, you will see 3 columns that will appear. This middle column is where you can create the property. So what you want to do is click on create property and literally just follow those prompts to set up your new property. The next step though is once you've created that property, you need to make sure that you've got your tracking code set up. So you really want to make sure that that tracking code, which is essentially just a piece of code that you'll need to add to your website, to your app, and this is how you're going to allow GA4 to track that user behavior and be able to get that data through into the account for you.
Yeah, wonderful. I think it's also important that if you work with an agency, make sure that you actually own your properties. We often get, ad accounts and properties and things like that, and they don't even have admin access to essentially what is their information. So just make sure, if we do see that on our side, we always make sure that our client is given admin access and we set that up correctly for them. But marketing people come and go, and you just want to set up your organization for long-term success. Okay, so what happens if we've already gotten an email from Google saying we've migrated your account for you.
Yep.
Does that mean that we can just walk away and
If only, if only. Yeah. So I think just because you've got the email from Google, you really cannot assume that your GA4 account is up and running.
yeah.
So we have been given access to some accounts here from clients who have said, great, we've got our GA4 accounts up and running. And when we actually go into the account, we see that there's no data flowing.
Yeah.
Potentially it's set up, but there's just nothing in the account. It's just sitting empty. So I would really just go back, verify your tracking, and check that that is up and running. You really want to have the data flowing. So once you've got that tracking set up, it would take probably between 24 to 48 hours, and you can get that data coming in. The next step, from there would obviously be then, as we've discussed, just working through setting up those events just to make the most out of GA4. And I think, of course, I would just really mention, if you're just also getting started with GA4, is to really take some time to familiarize yourself with the platform. It is quite different from the previous version of Google Analytics. So, I would just take some time, explore the new interface, learn where everything is located. And in saying that, Google is still busy changing things around. So you may log on today and the admin button's here tomorrow, be somewhere different. But explore, have a look, and take some time to really just look at the new features, look at the reports, gain some insights. And I think really just doing these are going to help you to make better decisions for your digital marketing strategy.
Yeah. I think there's a huge implication for those of you who are advertising. It affects all your tracking. So you may find if you're switching to GA4, there's a lot of work involved in the tracking and making sure that it's set up. And just think of the implications further down the line of like, will my Google ads track? Will the Facebook pixel track? And is that integrating properly with the website? Because there are implications across the board for all of your advertising and all the sources of traffic that you have.
Yeah, definitely. And I will just add there, sorry, just importantly, I think what I love about Google is you've got Google Ads, Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager. So everything is really working cohesively and working better together. I think just to integrate, just to give you that stronger insights into what's happening.
While talking about keeping up with changing technologies, and this is just another one of those. We've gone through many changes of the last year, especially in digital marketing and marketing in general. Roberts Digital is actually launching a mastermind program, a mentorship program, marketing mentorship program. And we're really turning the agency model upside down. I think it's not something that agencies just freely do, give out information that they have spent, thousands of dollars and hours of time training to get. But this mastermind is really meant to be top level training and coaching and mentoring on new advertising channels, trends in the industry, but then also practical hands-on support to help you implement the marketing. So it's no good knowing what you need to do but not knowing how to do it. And so we've put together a program. It's a weekly training program that has a perfect combination of top level strategy training and diving into the new platforms, but then the handheld walking you through implementation, diagnosis, analytics, reporting, all of the more technical support that you would need. We are launching the marketing membership. This Friday was open now. I'll give you the link. And the launch registrations are closing on this Friday. So you can visit our website. It's Roberts Digital / is it marketing membership?
Yep.
/marketing membership. The link is in the description. And we're opening it up and registrations close on Friday.
Amazing. So, Mara, I think I'm going to take my opportunity and switch things around a little bit and ask
Sure.
some questions about the program to you. So, I think the first one is, who is this program for?
Yeah. So the program is designed for marketers in a marketing role.
Yep.
And that can be for, high-level marketers that feel like they're, on the cutting edge of innovation and they understand technologies,
Mm.
all the way down to people that are just, maybe they've started out in a new role or they're starting out in a marketing career
Yep.
and they need training and mentorship
Yep.
to grow in their role. So the way the program is structured with the individual support with top level training is really catered towards both advanced level marketers and also
Mm.
marketers that are just starting out.
Okay, great. And then you mentioned calls. So, when will the calls be held?
Yeah. So there's going to be 4 calls a month,
Yep.
one call a week. Those calls will be at different times to give you the maximum ability to be able to schedule in to allow for different schedules. So some will be in the mornings and some will be in the afternoons.
Yep.
We'll also be hosting those calls, like recording them and hosting them on our training platform so that you can go through the history of those calls. And so the one big call a month will be the big level, top level training where we introduce new ideas and innovations and platforms to you.
Yep.
And then the weekly calls you'll be able to book in. So there's a little booking form that you fill out and you can bring your specific questions to that platform. So say, for example, if we train for that month on LinkedIn ads,
Mm.
then you can learn the top level, like what are the different ways to advertise it on LinkedIn, different audiences, things like that. And then in the implementation, you can book in for a support call to go through your ads. And so you can book those support calls in at any time. You don't have to do the LinkedIn support during LinkedIn month.
Yep.
You can do it at any time at your pace.
Amazing. Okay. And then, yeah, I suppose that brings me to questions. What kind of questions can people bring to these
Yes.
weekly calls?
So it's really meant to be a practical deep dive for you. So
Yep.
nitty gritty details. We want you to be sharing your screen. We can go into, say, for example, like the Facebook Ads Manager to diagnose the campaign, to
Yep.
look at the click through rates. Let's look at your landing page.
Yep.
So you can really bring in any campaign, be it a Google campaign, a social media campaign, LinkedIn campaign, and we can diagnose those for you. But then you can also bring questions like nutting through some copywriting,
Mm.
or maybe a landing page design, or a workflow, or how to even create the landing page on the back end of a website. And so you can also bring your GA4 questions.
Yeah.
I'll hand those over to Jolene. So you can bring your GA4 questions. You can bring pixel tracking, reporting, email. Maybe you want to find a solution like a technology to recommend, like which email marketing software should we be using, or should we be using live chat and what are our options there.
Yep.
So really practical, your day-to-day questions for your marketing. And so it's not just digital, it's also traditional. So
Yep.
whether you're planning out a billboard campaign, or launching magazine ads, or creating a script for radio ad, those are also things that we can help you work through in the support calls.
Okay, amazing. And then, yeah, I think an important one is cost. So what kind of costs are we looking at?
Yeah, so I mentioned that we're giving away a 14-day free trial,
Mm-hmm.
just to really give you a taste of the program. And then the cost is $79 a month, which we
Amazing.
really went backwards and forth
Yeah.
about, because we really are giving away, there's nothing left unsaid in these training calls. We really are going to be giving the joint resources of our team away in this mentoring program. And so that price is probably never to be seen again after Friday. So Friday is the close. If you sign up for the free trial before Friday, your membership will be locked in at $79 a month.
Amazing.
And you can cancel at any time. Well, so stay joined because you'll be locked in at that price. And then, intake closes on Friday, close of business Friday.
Okay, sounds great.
So I just want to go through a few more questions here. Haven't set up yet. Is Google the best place for tutorials regarding setup? Yes. I mean, the problem we found is that it's changing so rapidly that when you read blog articles, you're going to find this it says click here and there's no button there, or it's set up like this and that's not the problem, or that doesn't work anymore. Honestly, every time we log in, it's changing. So the best place for your training would be our mentorship program.
Yeah.
Really. Okay, so I just want to double check. Just hold on 2 seconds. I just want to see the cameras. I'm just going to double check that we haven't lost our feed. Bear with me a moment. What's happening? Why did it go off? Okay, I'm not sure why it's gone off. Okay, I'll just close off the feed there. The video, you may not be able to see our video. Maybe you can. I'm not sure. Our screen's gone black. But if you want to sign up for the marketing mentorship, the link is in the chat below. Membership's closed Friday. We've sent an email with the details, and we'd love to see you. We're kicking off next week with some live training. Thank you for joining our Google Analytics training, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Next month, we'll be doing LinkedIn training.
Amazing. Thank you.
Right. Oh my God.
Oh no.
It's back now.